If you're a high achieving professional, CEO, or executive, in this video, I'm going to break down how to not only lose weight, but how to keep it off. Because if you've been struggling with your weight, you've been building your empire and building your portfolio, and noticing that your weight and your health is starting to fall apart, we can fix that. And it doesn't have to take as long as you might think. Okay. I'm going to break down steps that I take for my coaching clients, and they're dropping 40, 50, up to 60 pounds in 6 months. Okay. I'm not talking about, just eat these foods like these little food tip videos that you can see on social media. I'm talking about proven systems that are helping people just like yourself who are busy professionals to lose weight, down their waistline, and keep it that way. Okay. That way you can excel in your career, but also be a role model for the people that you love and care about. Okay. With that said, let's go ahead and dive in. D'Angelo, what's up, man? I appreciate you showing up live. So the first thing is this: you don't need to know just what foods to eat. You don't need a restrictive diet, a strict diet. And this is what most trainers tell people. And they say, hey, just eat chicken and broccoli. Sell your soul to the chicken and broccoli diet. But most people fall off of those diets. They can't stick with it. And so what happens when you fall off? Most times people gain the weight back. They burn out. They start binge eating. They create eating disorders, because they don't have a healthy relationship with food. And so, what we want to do instead is focus on energy management. Anybody who has a weight problem or even health concerns like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, erectile dysfunction, for all my guys, that is a nutrition issue. That is not a, I need to be more disciplined with my diet. I need to work out harder. That is a nutrition issue. Okay. And so we want to focus on energy management. Here's what this looks like: it's not just what you eat, but it's also the quality of the foods that you eat and how much of it you eat. Okay. And so, with that said, the way you want to look at food is this: some people look at food as pleasure and convenience based, which they eat a lot of fast food. They find themselves eating a lot of foods that are quick little snacks, chips, trail mix, crackers. And these foods are high in calories, but very low nutritional value. Okay. This is why a lot of people tend to gain weight, because they're eating foods that are very low in nutritional value, a lot of calories. Okay. And these types of foods tend to lead people to having belly fat, high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes. Sylvia, what's up, man? Hope you're doing well. So instead of doing that, we want to eat foods that are dense with nutrients. Okay. Dense with nutrients. I see a couple of you guys comment. I'm going to answer all y'all's questions once I finish up. Okay. A buddy of mine's told me about this hat on TikTok, though. So foods that are dense with nutrients: proteins, steak, chicken, fish, things like that. Okay. Then you have your healthy fats: walnuts, cashews, almonds, avocados. You have your fibrous foods like uh, fruits that have seeds in them, green leafy vegetables. These types of foods are dense with nutrients, very low calories. Like you, like one of the things I teach my coaching clients, like I do have them track. Like I do show them exactly what foods they need to be eating and track it. I show them the portions and everything. But the reason I still have them track it though is because I want them to be aware of how much they're eating. Because it makes no sense in me just knowing how much they're eating, and if they don't know, because they at some point will graduate, and if they don't have awareness, they're gonna go back to the old way of doing things. Okay. And so we're tracking to get awareness. Okay. And so I say this because there's a lot of people who are eating healthy food, but they are overweight, still struggle with the belly fat. They still struggle with energy. They still struggle with health concerns because they don't know exactly how much they're eating. This is why we have to track. And so ask yourself, do you know your calorie intake? Do you know your daily protein intake? Not understanding these things, you could potentially be overeating on these things and wondering why you're not losing weight. Okay. And so these things are critical, not just for fat loss, but also for your health. Like people who Studies show people who are not eating enough protein, they tend to have type 2 diabetes. They tend to have high cholesterol, high blood pressure because they're overeating on processed foods. They're overeating on carbs and fats, not enough protein to regulate their blood sugar. And so if you notice that your energy level is going up and down throughout the day, you're having brain fog in the middle of the day, feeling mentally exhausted by the end of the day, guys, this is a nutrition issue, okay? Because nutrition affects our energy. Have you ever heard the word calories? A lot of trainers will say, hey, just be in a calorie deficit, but they're not really explaining it. Calories is just a metric of energy. That's all it is. Most people are eating calorie dense foods, not realizing it, and this is why they're gaining so much weight, okay? Because when you overeat on calorie dense foods like peanut butter, eating rice and beans with guacamole at Chipotle, guys, it's not to say these foods are bad, but they are dense with calories. And this is why you can see guys and women who are going to the gym and they're like working their butt off, but they still got the big stomach. They're still struggling with their weight. Lavi, I'll ask you a question once I finish up the value. Okay, I'll talk about it in a sec. But super important that you dial in the quality of what you're eating, foods that are dense with nutrients, and you dial in the quantity. Okay, that's your calorie intake, your daily protein intake. Once you do this, your stomach will start leaning out. You'll start seeing the scale go down. You start having more energy throughout the entire day. You're not just going to have energy in the morning when you wake up, you have energy in the afternoon and in the evening. Okay. That way you can thrive in your career, but also with your relationships and your family when you're off work. Okay. Super important. Um, so that's the first thing. That's how you fix your health. That's how you fix the type 2 diabetes because type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, that is a not a genetic thing, that is not a age thing, that is a nutrition thing. If you don't dial in your nutrition, these types of things are the consequences. Those type of diseases, okay? Those are lifestyle related diseases. All right? Super important. Second thing, you don't need a ton of willpower, guys. A lot of people think that, people who are working out and fit and in shape, they think that it just requires so much discipline and willpower. But people who are like CEOs, high achievers, people who are executives, you have discipline. You're not lazy. You don't get to that level in your career without having discipline and willpower. But what you're lacking is structure. When you don't have structure on what to do in the gym that not just fits your goals, but it also fits your lifestyle, it can feel stressful because you have all these things and responsibilities in your career, even with your family. And then it's like you're just leaving it up to chance when you hit the gym, you're just like, okay, well, what do I need to do? And a lot of guys just default, and women, they default to what they used to do when they were in high school or when they were in college. But they're in their 30s, 40s, or even in their 50s. As your body is totally different now. And so what we do differently over here, we don't do the generic workouts, the generic, hey, let's do these supersets and all these circuits and all these things like that. We don't need the hacks. We need something that fits your lifestyle. Okay. Because it's not to say that these different ways of training don't work, but it won't give you the results you want if it doesn't support your lifestyle. And so what I mean by that is with lifestyle based training, you have to be aware of how many days a week you can work out. And so ask yourself, how many days a week can you realistically, not what you want to do, not what you're like thinking, yeah, I want to work out every day. I want to get this stomach off of me. What can you realistically stick to? Is it 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 5 days a week? Like I went through this at one point. I used to, oddly enough, when I went to Georgia State University, I was studying exercise science and nutrition, and I had just got done playing football because I played football up there too. And I was really inconsistent with my workouts. And sometimes when I go out with my buddies, my clothes will fit exactly the way I wanted them to fit. Like I'm like, oh yeah, man, my V-neck's fitting good on me now. I'll be good. I'll be looking good for the ladies, for the honeys, or whatever. And in some weeks it didn't look all that good. And I wanted to stay in because I'm like, man, my arms ain't as defined as I wanted them to be. The clothes didn't fit my body the way I wanted them to. And that came because I didn't have structure with what I was doing in the gym. Like I was just kind of like doing things. I would do a little bit of triceps here, do some bench press there, do some ab exercises here, maybe hit legs if I felt like it. But there was no structure. And there was like no, okay, I'm hitting the gym 5 days a week and I'm doing this on these days, you know? And that's what happens when you don't have the structure. Oh man, I don't know what happened, guys. I don't know what part it blinked out on, but yeah, I didn't have structure. Okay. And when I did not have that structure, it led to inconsistency. And so if you notice that you're having inconsistent results when you step on the scale, you're having inconsistent results with how your clothes fit, your energy is fluctuating, your stress is all over the place, it's because of lack of structure. When you have structure, it gives you speed. When you have structure, it buys you back time. And when you have structure, it gives you consistency. Okay. You see this in your career, in your business. You have systems, SOPs, right? Standard operating procedures. And so you have to ask yourself, when it comes to your health, when it comes to your lifestyle, when it comes to your energy, what are your SOPs? A SOP is how many hours of sleep are you getting on a daily basis? We haven't even got to the workout part yet. How many hours of sleep are you getting? Because a lot of people say, well, I'm just not motivated to go. I don't have the energy. Man, I'm just so mentally exhausted. That's a sleep issue and a nutrition issue. Another SOP. How many meals are you eating on a daily basis? Is it inconsistent? Eat one meal, then two meal, then three meals some days, and snack some days. It's no good. You got to have SOPs for your health. The same way you're excelling in your career because you have SOPs. You got to have SOPs for your health, for lifting, for your cardio, for your sleep, for your nutrition. Okay. This is why what I do is called high performance lifestyle coaching. We fix your lifestyle, we fix your energy, we fix your weight, we fix your health. This, guys, is your unfair advantage: your image, your energy, and your health. When you get these three things, this is how you truly excel. Okay. I see a couple of you guys comment. I'm gonna address them in just a second. I got one more talking point. Um, Cause I don't want to go down a rabbit hole answering y'all questions. Then I'm like, dang, forgot what I was about to say. All right. Then the last thing is this: you have to have high performance habit tracking systems. High performance habit tracking systems. Guys, building a business is not emotional. There's systems in place. You have workers that do certain things in certain departments. You got a marketing department, sales department, operations department, PR. You got systems, right? You have to have systems and habits that you track on a daily and weekly basis. Some of the systems and habits that I have for my coaching clients: we track their weight every week. We track their progress photos every week. They're able to let me know how their energy is, how their stress is on a daily and weekly basis. They're tracking their workouts. I can see when each of my clients work out. Some of them work out early in the morning, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Others work out in the middle of the day. Others work out in the evening. But if you're not tracking it, you're not going to know how to gauge what's causing you to either progress and get results, or regress and not get results, because you're not tracking anything. Like losing weight is not emotional. Getting in shape is not emotional. It's habit based. You fix and understand what habits to focus on, you get the progress, you get the results. So, how many days a week are you working out? How many meals are you eating? How much water are you drinking on a daily basis? How many hours of sleep are you getting? Is it consistent? Is it a certain time that you get to bed each night? Is there a certain time in the morning that you wake up each day? Or maybe you're like me, you're just like, man, dude, look, as long as I get 8 hours a night, I'm good. 7, 8 hours a night, solid. I get less than seven, trash. Everybody's a little different, but studies show people who get less than six, super high chance of being obese because they're stressed, sleep deprived, so they tend to stress eat. They tend to binge eat. They tend to emotionally eat. Not drinking enough water, you're dehydrated. So you're going to eat out of dehydration. Okay. Super important to pay attention to these things. Okay. But once you do these things, guys, these are the only systems that you need to be focused on to transform your body and your health, to drop your next 50 plus pounds. Okay. And I have coaching clients dropping 40, 50, 60 in 6 months. We're not talking about in a year. We're talking about months here. Okay. And so, if you like more help from me, you want structure on exactly what steps you need to take, okay? Because this is a tailored thing, guys. Everyone's a little bit different. I'll drop a link down in the description below. That way you can learn more about coaching one on one with me. Um, and I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions real quick because I do have a call to jump on in a second. Where can I buy that hat? Yeah, go to TikTok, man. Um, what do you eat all day? It varies. You know, I do like New York strip steak, blueberries. Like my lunch today is about to be New York strip steak, kiwi. No, New York strip steak, asparagus, and avocados. Yep, that's what I just bought from Whole Foods. That's what I'm getting ready to eat. Um, I am 25 years and I feel my body shaking when I'm pushing and pulling something with force. Like my whole body shakes, the glutes, the hands, everything. What should I do? It sounds like you just got to continue to get stronger. The stronger you get, the more your body will be able to endure that pressure and challenge that you're putting on it. Like I went through the same thing when I first started working out. Like I moved with my dad when I was about 13 years old. I was like 12, 13. And that was the first time I had ever did bench press. And I knew how to do push-ups, but when I started doing bench press with my pops, my arms were shaking. It was shaking real bad. And then over time, I was able to just lift it regular. It was normal, just flowing. And then once I added more weight to it, more challenge, it started to shake a little bit more. You see what I'm saying? And so you just got to continue to challenge yourself because over time, what you may be doing now, you won't shake anymore. Then when you start to challenge yourself more, you're gonna shake again with the new weight, right, or with the new exercise. But that's just a response, a physiological response to like the amount of stress that you're putting on your body, like far as the weight that you're using or body weight. Uh, well, how to increase sleep quality? That's a great question. Sleeping. You can improve your sleep quality by let me think. Exercise can do that. Okay. If you're not moving, if you're very sedentary throughout the day, that can, affect your sleep quality. I've had a lot of coaching clients who join and, they had like a lot of women that I've noticed have a hard time sleeping. And once they start exercising, they start sleeping a lot better. I get that from a lot of my lady clients. The men, I notice once the men start eating better, like a lot of men eat way too much sugar. I noticed a lot of the men that I coach eat way too much sugar, way too much refined carbs. And these types of foods it cause inflammation inside the gut. And our gut affects our brain health, okay, which can impair our sleep. And so refined carbs, things like croissants, let me see how much time I have. Croissants, bagels, chicken biscuits. If you're eating things like what do you call that? Sausage McGriddles from McDonald's and chicken biscuits from Chick-fil-A. Guys, these foods are convenient, but they are not good for your health. Okay. This is how folks end up having type 2 diabetes, gut issues, the cortisol belly, like some people call it hormonal belly fat. Same thing. And it can affect your sleep. And a lot of people start to develop sleep apnea from this way of eating because they gain a ton of weight. Donuts, cinnamon rolls, yeah, all those things. Great input, D'Angelo. And so, yeah, once you improve your eating, like guys, nutrition is healing, is medicine. A lot of people think if they're having type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure, they think those things, the medication that they're taking that the doctor tells them to get on, is not fixing the issue. It's just managing the issue. It's still there. That's why you have to keep taking the medications. But the people who come off the medications is because they have fixed their lifestyle, meaning the way that they eat, their sleeping patterns, their exercise and physical activity. This is how you fix it. And so that way you don't have to continue to like stress and worry about these types of health concerns and your body not looking the way you want it to. When your body is on point, when your image is on point, this is an unfair advantage in your career because there's plenty of people in the career field and they're overweight. Guys, people, this is the world we live in. They look at how you look first. Is this person disciplined? It tells people a story. It doesn't mean that you're not smart. It doesn't mean that you're not intelligent, but it tells people a story about how you feel about yourself. That's all that means. Okay? Doesn't mean you're a bad person, but it does tell people behind closed doors, this person right here is lacking some discipline, or this person right here is lacking some emotional stability, like resilience. When you look the part, guys, it shows that you have some level of emotional resilience to restrain yourself from eating certain things that we all want to eat. I would love to eat a burger, tacos, and cookies every day. I would love to. Let's not kid ourselves here. It tastes good, but I'm not going to do it. And I restrain myself from doing it because certain times I do want to eat it more days than others, but I won't do it because I have a standard. I want to look a certain way where I can inspire you guys, inspire you guys to want to make change, being able to talk in alignment with my message and look the part. Look the part. You're a CEO, you're an executive, you're a high achiever. Look the part. Okay? Super important. And so that way you can excel in your career, not just get by, not just, go taking it day by day. No, you are excelling, climbing, getting to the next level. You're inspiring your family and the people who love and care about you because they see how you're leveling up. Not just your bank account, but your body. They see your clothes, your suits looking better. You see what I'm saying? This is critical. This is the unfair advantage. But anyway, hopefully y'all found this helpful. Um, somebody says materialistic. This has nothing to do with materialistic. See, this is what average people will say. Average, when you're in the wrong rooms, average people will say, oh, they're bragging. Oh, materialistic. But when you're in the right rooms, they're going to say, yes, that's right. I want to be healthy. I want to be a good role model for the people that I love and care about. I want to be a good role model for my team and my career because when I do well, they're going to do well. They're going to step up and get to that next level too. And so it's a standard thing. That's it. All right. Take care of your health, guys. With that said, appreciate that, Dwayne. All right, now we out of here. Hopefully y'all found this video helpful. I know I took a deep dive into it, but you may want to go back and rewatch this one because I did give a lot of good game in this one. Okay. And if y'all want help from me, I'll drop a link down in the description once I finish. All right. Other than that, guys, we out of here. I got a call to jump on. Let's get it. Peace.